Hey, it's Megan here with the Yoga Practice Summit View. I have another Hatha 26 sequence for you, Bikram's 26 asanas that help strengthen the spine, help improve respiration, help with focus and balance and flexibility. So let's get started. At the top of our mat, I have my mat turned, but I will face you. So facing the top of your mat, feet come to touch. Spread out your toes. Lift them up, maybe plant them down into your mat. Get rooted through your feet. Strong legs. Activate your quads so that your kneecaps lift. Engage your glutes, your core. Tilt your pelvis to support your spine. Roll your shoulders back and down. Nice, strong, active posture. Palms face away from you. Head is stacked over your lungs, hips, and heels, all aligned. Be here. Take some breaths. Notice what you notice. For our first asana, pranayama, breathing, interlace your fingers underneath your chin. Zipper up your arms. Bring your elbows to touch. Gaze forward. Chin level with the mat. Active core. Pull your navel in. You're going to inhale through the nose as you frame your elbows with your face. Deep inhale. Feel your rib cage expand. Fill it up to the top. Tilt your head back. Open mouth. Audible HA. Draw your elbows into touch and gaze forward. Again, inhale. Forearms come up to frame the face. Chin presses into your knuckles. Take one more sip at the top. Increasing our lung capacity here. Tilt your head back. Open mouth, audible HA. Exhaling out your air, squeezing out every last bit. Engaging your core to get every last bit of stale air out. And gaze returns forward. Inhaling, arms come up. Forearms to frame your face. Press your chin into your knuckles, matching our breath to our movement. One more sip at the top. Relax your shoulders. Tilt your head back. Open mouth, audible HA. Exhaling out all your air. Working to match the length of our inhales to our exhales, maybe. Inhaling for a count of 4 to 6. Deep inhale, filling up the lungs all the way up to the top. And tilting your head back, audible HA, ha, exhaling out your air for a count of 4 to 6. Match your inhales. Deep inhale in, we'll take 2 more. See if you can take even deeper, bigger breath here. One more sip at the top. Tilt your head back, audible HA, squeezing out every last bit of stale air. Gaze comes forward. Inhale, last one, make it your very best. Deep inhale, longest breath, fill it up. One more sip. Tilt your head back, open mouth, audible HA. Elbows come to touch. Squeeze out all that air. Gaze forward. Arms come down at your side. Take a breath. Inhale your arms up overhead. Palms to touch. Interlace your fingers. Release your index finger. Squeeze your biceps by your ears. Chin stays away from your chest and begin to tick-tock right to left, left to right. Opening up the side body in a nice stretch. Your abdominal muscles, external obliques. Keep your feet rooted into the mat. Come back to center. Let your head fall back for a gentle back bend. Lift your heart up, engage your glutes, press your hips forward, draw a little line back, opening up your heart, the front side of the body, little sips of air. Inhale back to center, reach up and forward fold with the flat back, hinging at the hips, releasing your hands down to the mat. Let your head be heavy. You can separate your heels, take a few bounces, stretching out your hamstrings, releasing your lower back, seeing how your body feels today, what's different, what's new, what's changed. Your feet have separated, bring them back together. Interlace your fingers, release your index finger, and rise with the flat back, charging your heart up as you go. Our first set of Ardha Chandrasana, squeeze your palms together so no light can get through. Squeeze your biceps by your ears, maybe behind your ears. Relax your shoulders down. Root down through the mat, strong legs. Lengthen up, reach over to the right. Like you're bending over a giant beach ball. Pull that left arm up and over. Stretching out the left side body, crunching the right side body, activating the side obliques. Breathing here, keep your chin away from your chest. Shoulders and hips stay in line with the front of your mat, parallel. Bump your left hip out. Bend over a little bit more, come back to your breath. All the asanas, inhaling through your nose and exhaling out your nose. Inhale, rise back up to center, lengthen up, and exhale over to the left. Bumping out the right hip, keeping shoulders and hips parallel to the edge of the mat. Really reaching that right arm up and over. Nice stretch in the shoulders, relaxing the shoulders as you bend over that giant beach ball. Keep your chin away from your chest so you can see your neck. Root down through your feet. Core is active, glutes are active. Breathe in, making space, exhaling, maybe going a little deeper. Nice lateral flexion of the spine. Inhale, rise back to center. Let your head draw back heavy. Lift the heart, engage your glutes as you draw a line on the ceiling. As you look back and go back, send your hips forward, root down through your feet. You are made to bend this way. Little sips of air. Rise back up on your inhale and exhale with a flat back. Let your hands come to the mat. Bend your knees for Padahastasana. Make a chest to thigh connection. Glue your chest onto your thighs. Lift up your heels, scoop up your heels like your fingers are spatulas, all 10 fingers tucked under your heels. Let your head be heavy, gaze between your calves and lift your hips. Exhale, pull with your biceps, the top of your head toward your toes. Maybe straightening the legs one day. Let your head be heavy, biceps are bulging. Lift your hips and slowly exhale, release your hands from under your feet. Straighten your legs, interlace your fingers, release your index finger. Rise with the flat back, charging your heart up as you go. Release your hands next to your sides. Take a breath. And inhale your arms up overhead, palms come to touch. Interlace your fingers, squeeze your biceps by your ears. Maybe get them back behind your ears a little further this time for our second set of Ardha Chandrasana. Maybe take an opposite grip with your fingers. Root down through your feet, lengthen up, reach over to the right. Bending over that giant beach ball again. Trimming and toning the waist. Keep your hips and shoulders parallel to the side of the mat. Root down through your feet. Deep inhale, create space. Exhale, find a little bit deeper. Find your edge. And inhale, rise back to center. Lengthen up. Let your shoulders relax. Reach over to the left. Bump out your right hip. Squeezing your core. Inhaling, create space. Exhale, goes deeper to find your edge. Squeeze your biceps, long arms. Root down through your feet. And inhale, rise back to center. Let your head drop back for our last back bend here. Engage your glutes, draw a line on the ceiling or in the clouds. Opening up the front side of the body. Charge your heart up like it's going to float up to the sky. Little sips of air. And inhale, rise back to center. And forward fold with a flat back. Hands come down your mat. Our second set of Padasana. Glue your chest to your thighs. Scoop up those heels. Head is heavy. Inhale your hips up. Exhale, pull your forehead down toward your shins, your feet. Maybe strengthen the legs, releasing your lower back. And slowly release. Straighten your legs. Make a clasp with your hands. Release your index finger and rise to the flat back. Release your hands down to your side. Take a step out with your right foot, about hip-width distance. Bring your fists together. Place them between your big toes and your heels, like your feet are on railroad tracks in a nice line. You're going to inhale your arms up, shoulder height. Squeeze your fingers together. Exhale, sit your hips back. Keep your knees over your ankles. Squeeze your glutes, squeeze your quads. Sit low, like you're sitting in a kindergarten chair. Keep your breath, your balance, long spine, and slowly rising up. Come up onto the balls of your feet. This time, well, pretend we're sliding down a wall. Keep your shoulders back over your hips. Send your knees forward. Balancing on our feet. Strengthening our arches, the tendons in our toes. Lift your heels. See how high you can get your heels. Keep your shoulders back over your hips. Strong, active core. Find your drishti, a point of focus to help with your balance. Squeezing your quads, lifting your heels, and slowly rising up. Release your heels down. Squeeze your knees together. Our last variation of Utkatasana. Squeeze your knees together so much that you're squeezing a dollar bill in between them so it won't drop. Again, slide down that wall, imaginary wall behind you, shoulders back over your hips. Squeeze your knees together. Your heels will lift a couple inches off of the mat. Legs come down just enough so that if you had a ball resting on your thighs, it would roll off. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze your knees, squeeze your arms, and slowly rising up. And feet come together, arms at your side. Take a breath. We'll take those 3 variations of Utkatasana one more time. So find that same step out with your right foot, hip-width distance. Feet are forward, toes are forward. Inhale your arms up, out in front of you, squeeze your fingers together. Sit your hips back, sit in that kindergarten chair, sit low, like someone might pull it out from you, but you won't fall because you're sitting so strong. Legs and core are active. Keep your heels and your knees in line with your hips. Squeeze your glutes, relax your shoulders back and down. And slowly rise up. Come up onto the balls of your feet and slide down that imaginary wall, sending your knees forward. Coming up high onto the balls of your feet, really strengthening our feet here, showing them some love. Come up a little bit higher, shoulders back over your hips, squeeze your fingers, and slowly rising up. Release your heels, squeeze your knees together, slide down that imaginary wall behind you. Hips and shoulders are stacked. Squeezing your knees so tight, don't drop that dollar bill. If there was a ball on your thighs, it would roll off. One more inhale, one more exhale, and slowly rising up. Release your heels, feet come together, arms at your side. We'll incorporate the upper and lower body now with Garudasana Eagle. Inhale your arms up overhead, nice stretch, long spine. Identify your right arm, swing it under your left, crossing the elbows, wrist, bringing your palms to touch, maybe your fingertips. Option to find opposite hands on opposite shoulders as well. Squeeze your arms. Squeeze your elbows down so your thumbs are in front of your nose and sit your hips back. Weight comes into your left foot. Lift your right leg up and cross it up and over your left. Trying to tuck those toes behind your calf. Work to do that. Sit your shoulders back over your hips here. Squeeze your arms, squeeze your legs. You're compressing 14 major joints in the body here. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Find your balance. Sitting lower and squeezing will help with that balance. Find your drishti. And exhale, release, flooding the body with fresh oxygen. Identify your left arm, swing it under your right. Crossing elbows, wrists, maybe bringing those fingertips to fingertips. Squeeze your biceps so much that you're feeling a stretch in the back of your shoulders. Sit your hips back. Weight comes into your right foot. Lift up your left leg. Cross it over. Work to tuck that toe behind your calf. Sit your hips back. Shoulders are over your hips. Nice, long, straight spine. Squeeze your thighs together. Squeeze your arms together. Squeeze, squeeze, squeezing 14 joints here. Find your drishti. Sit a little bit lower. And inhale, flooding the body with fresh oxygen. Release your hands at your side. Tadasana Mountain Pose. Take a breath. Take one more set. The option is Sleeping Eagle. Inhale your arms up overhead. Identify your right arm. Swing it under your left. Or finding opposite hands to shoulders. Squeeze your arms together. Sit back. Weight comes into your left foot. Lift your right foot up and over. Crossing legs. Making a little tourniquet with the body like you're trying to wring out all the liquid. Wash rags, squeezing, squeezing, squeezing. Sit your shoulders back. If you want to take Sleeping Eagle, lift your elbows and exhale, forward fold over your thighs. Gaze is out in front, keeping a neutral neck. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Sleeping Eagles, rise back up, and inhale. Fresh oxygen. Swing your left arm underneath your right, crossing the elbows, wrist, maybe bringing your fingertip to fingertip, or opposite hands to opposite shoulders. Squeeze your arms, squeeze your shoulders. Sit back, lift up that left leg, cross it over your right, trying to tuck that toe behind your calf. Bring your arms and your knees in a line. Sit your hips back, sit your shoulders over your hips. Squeeze, squeeze. You took Sleeping Eagle on one side, balance out this side. Inhale, arms up, forward fold over your thighs. Gaze out to front, neutral neck, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Sleeping Eagles, rise, and inhale, arms up, feet together. Release your hands by your side. We'll go into some standing balances. Weight comes into your left foot. Lift up your right leg. It's important on these standing balances to really root down through your standing leg. Spread your toes out. Activate that standing leg. You have the option of staying here, finding a clasp underneath your knee on your shin, drawing your knee up toward your chest. You can stay here, or find a clasp underneath your foot with all 10 fingers. If your standing leg is straight, work to extend that right leg out in front of you. Really squeezing your palms together, a nice tight grip, pressing down through that standing leg. Maybe framing your calf with your forearms, flexing your foot back. Breathe here. Deep inhales, deep exhales. Attach the breath to the posture. And slowly, just as you came into it, come out. Feet together. Weight comes into your right foot, lift up your left. Remember to root down through that standing leg and balance out what you did on one side with the other. So if you stayed here, stay here. If you found a clasp underneath your knee, go there. Or a clasp underneath your foot. Nice strong webbed fingers. Your standing leg is straight. Work to extend your left leg out. Working to lengthen that leg, flexing your foot. Finding your balance. Maybe framing your calf with your forearms. Your toes flex, nice tight grip. Come back to your breath. Deep inhale through your nose. Deep exhale out your nose. And slowly, just as you came in, come out. And we'll take a second set of Dande Manu Janu Sirsasana, standing forehead to knee. See if we can go a little deeper this time. Root down through your left foot, spread your toes, lift your right leg up, flex your foot. Stay here, find a clasp underneath your knee or foot. Your standing leg is straight. Work on extending that right leg out in front of you. Nice strong grip with your fingers. Bring your forearms down. Frame your calf, perhaps. Gaze at your big toe. Gaze down at your left big toe, maybe making that forehead to knee connection. Finding balance, focus, and breathe. And slowly, just as you came in, coming out. Feet together. Weight comes into your right foot. Lift up your left leg, flex your toes. Balance out on this side, what you did on your right side. Finding a clasp underneath your knee on your shin, or underneath your foot. If your standing leg is straight, work to send that left leg out in front of you, flexing your foot. Nice hamstring stretch, strong balance. Working all those tendons in your standing leg. Frame, maybe framing your calf with your forearms, gazing at your big toe. Or gaze down at your right big toe, bringing your forehead to meet your knee one day. Back to your breath. And slowly, just as you came in, release. Feet together. Did a standing forward fold. Now we'll do standing back bend, Dande Manu Dhanurasana. Inhale your arms up overhead. Bring your right elbow down to your right hip. Palm faces up. Weight comes into your left foot. Pick up your right foot on the inside and where your shoelaces are. Lengthen up, open up your right shoulder. Begin to kick back into your right hand. Reach forward, 50-50 kick and reach. Gaze forward over your fingertips. Find your drishti. Activate that glute and hamstring in your right leg. Kick, kick, kick. Maybe seeing those toes come up over your head. Work on your balance. Press down through that left foot, all three corners. And slowly release, feet together. Inhale your arms up overhead. Left elbow comes down to your left hip, palm facing the sky. Pick up that left heel, the inside, right where your shoelaces are, and reach up with your right hand. Open up your left shoulder. Kick back into your left hand. Active glutes, active hamstrings. 50-50 kick and reach. Reach and kick. Opposite directions. Gaze over your right fingertips. Get those toes up to the sky behind you. Root down through that right standing leg. Find your breath. Inhale through your nose. Exhaling out. And slowly release. Left foot meets your right. We'll take a second set. Right elbow comes into your right hip, palm facing up. Grab the inside of your right foot, reach up your left arm, open up your right shoulder. Find your drishti, kick into your right foot, and hinge forward. 50-50 kick and reach. Strengthening the spine, strengthening your balance. Find your edge, kick into that right foot. Hinging forward just a little bit more. If you find yourself falling forward, kick harder into your hand. Find yourself falling back, reach forward, and slowly release. Right foot meets the left. Left elbow comes into your left hip, palm face the sky. Pick up that left foot, the inside. Reach your right arm up. Open your left shoulder. Root down through your right foot. Kick back into your left foot. And reach forward, 50-50, kick and reach. Find your drishti. Kick in. Set left foot. Get those toes up, point. Maybe reach a little bit more. Find your edge. Breathe there. And slowly release. Left foot meets your right. Find your breath. Come to the back of your mat for Tula Dandasana. Feet together. Inhale your arms up overhead. Interlace your fingers, release your index fingers. Squeeze your biceps by your ears. Take a small step forward with our right foot. Point, lock, and lift your left. Reaching forward with your arms, squeezing your biceps, pointing your left toe back, reaching back with your left foot. Reaching in opposite directions. Keep your hips level with your mat. Lower that left hip down and left foot at the back of your mat, right foot meets the left. Take a small step out with your left foot. Point, lock, and lift the right. Squeeze your biceps by your ears as you hinge into a capital T. Point those right toes back. Reach forward with those fingers, pointing and reaching. Flex your quads, your glutes, straightening that back leg. Let your right hip drop, parallel with your left. Step your right foot back, left foot meets the right. Release your hands to your side. Take a breath. Take one more set of Tula Dandasana. Inhale your arms up overhead. Maybe find the opposite clasp. Release your index finger. Take a small step out with your right foot. Point, lock, and lift your left. Coming into that capital T. Lift that back leg up. Drop the left hip. Reaching forward, reaching back. Point those toes. And release your left foot. Right foot meets the left. Squeeze your biceps. Take a small step forward. Your left foot. Point, lock, and lift your right. Gaze is at the top of your mat. Reaching forward, squeeze your biceps, reach back, point your toes, drop your right hip, and right foot goes down, left foot meets the right. Release your hands at your side. Take a quarter turn to your right. Feet together. Inhale your arms up overhead. Take a giant step out with your left foot. Release your hands to capital T. Point your toes slightly in, heels out. Engage your core, pull your belly in. Keep your chin away from your chest, neck is neutral, and forward fold with a flat back. Gaze comes to the side edge of your mat. You can find a clasp on your calves, your ankles, or underneath your feet. Use your biceps. Use the strength of your biceps to pull your forehead down toward your mat. You can vary the length of your stance, bringing your feet closer together. If you have a lot of space between the mat and your forehead, or maybe bringing your feet a little bit wider. Make it a little bit easier to get your forehead towards the mat. Lengthening your spine, pulling your belly in, and slowly release your hands, engage your core, and rise with a flat back. First set of Trikonasana. Point your right toes towards the back of your mat. Sink into that right knee. Warrior two here for a minute. Square your hips to the side of your mat. Flip your palms, tilt your arms. Sink your hips. Gaze and come up to your left thumb. Press that outer edge of your left foot into the mat. Most of your weight's in your right heel. Sink into your hips. You can pull the mat together with your legs, which will activate your legs, or you can work to press the mat apart, which will also activate your legs. Choose which one feels strongest for you. Breathe here. Strong core and strong glutes. Inhale, rise up. Point your right toes in, left toes out. Sink into that left knee. Warrior two stance here. Flip your palms, tilt your arms. Gaze up at your right thumb. Sink your hips. Press the outer edge of your right foot into the mat. Most of your weight is in your left heel. Again, you can activate your leg muscles by squeezing your mat together or pressing it apart. Squeeze your glutes, active core, opening up your heart towards the side. A strong, active asana. Breathe here. Inhale, rise up, straighten your left leg, left toes turn in. Take a step back, left foot meets the right, the back of your mat. We'll take a quarter turn to the back of your mat and take a step back with your right foot, about 3 feet back. Your heels are in line. If there is a line going down the center of your mat, your heels are on that line. Your right toes are out at a 45-degree angle. Your left toes are pointing forward. Square your hips. Squeeze your biceps by your ears. Palms are touching. Thumbs are crossed. Tuck your chin and hinge forward. Dandayamana Vibhakta Janu Shirsasana. The goal here is to make that forehead to knee connection. So if you need to bend your knee to make that connection, bend your knee. You can also separate your hands or keep them together. So press your forehead into your knee. Keeping your hands together kind of opens your shoulders up, gives you a nice stretch in your shoulders. I have really tight shoulders, so this feels really good. Breathe here. Gaze past your knee. Keep your eyes open. Breathe here. Deep inhales through your nose. Deep exhales out your nose. Straighten that front leg if it's bent. Engage your core and rise with a flat back. Step forward with your right foot. Take the same step back with your left foot, heels in line. Left foot out at a 45-degree angle. Square your hips to the back of your mat. Squeeze your biceps by your ears. Palms together, cross opposite thumbs. Press down into your legs, tuck your chin. Hinge forward. Create that forehead to knee connection. You have to bend your knee. Bend your knee. You can separate your hands or keep them together. Try to balance out what you did on the other side. Notice the difference. Breathe here. Making that forehead to knee connection, keeping your chin tucked, compressing your thyroid and parathyroid. Great for digestion.
making that forehead to knee connection creates a calming sensation. If your front leg is bent, straighten your leg and rise with a flat back. Left foot meets your right, the back of your mat. Release your hands at your side. Take a turn to your right. I'll face you. And take a giant, inhale your arms up overhead, and take a giant step out with your right foot. Toes are in, heels out. Arms come to a capital T. Lift your heart, engage your core, pull your belly in. Keep your chin away from your chest as you forward fold. Dandayamana Vipakta Padu Paschimottanasana. Forward fold. So grab onto your calves, ankles, or outside of your feet. Gaze at the edge of your mat, long spine, creating space between each vertebrae. Pull your belly in. Weight is in your toes, but your heels still remain planted in the mat. You can activate your quads, your kneecaps lift. Strong, active posture, long spine. Release your hands, flatten your back, pull your belly in, arms at a capital T, and rise up. Right toes turn out, the right side of your mat. Sink into that right knee. So a warrior here stance here. Sink the hips, flip your palms, tilt your arms. Gaze up at the sky, your left thumb. Sink into your hips. Weights in that right heel. Press the outer edge of that left foot into the mat. Here you can squeeze the mat together with your legs or try to pull it apart. But activate your legs, activate your core and your glutes. Sink your hips. Come back to your breath. Deep inhales through your nose and deep exhales out your nose. Activating most of the muscles in the entire body here. Strong arms. Inhale, use your core to rise up. Turn your right toes in, left toes out. Sink into your left knee. Keep that left knee stacked over your left ankle. Flip your palms, tilt your arms. Sink your hips. Press that right edge of the back foot into the mat. Weight is in your left heel. Again, activate your legs by pulling the mat apart or pressing it together. Notice that activation. Notice the strong core. Sink your hips. Open up your heart. Keep that left knee stacked over your left ankle. Breathe here. And activate your core. Rise up. Straighten your left leg. Left toes come in. Inhale. Your right foot steps to meet your left. Arms come down at your side. And take a turn to the front of your mat. I'll continue facing you for Vrksasana tree. Root down through your feet. Sun has come out for our trees. Weight comes into your left foot. Lift your right foot up. Rub onto the outside edge with your left hand. Bring your left foot up to your hip crease. It's always an option to bring your foot to your calf or your inner thigh. Avoid your knee. You let your left hip or you let your right leg, the right knee fall open, externally rotating your hip. Maybe bring a hand or both hands to heart center or grow your tree branches. Engage your glutes, press your hips forward. Strong, active legs and core. Find your drishti here. Point of focus. And notice your breath. Notice your heart rate. The option to take Pandangustasana. If your foot is in your hip crease, you can hinge forward, bending into that left leg, into a toe stand. Maybe bringing both hands to heart center. Find a challenge to your balance. Toe stands, release your hands, rise back up. Trees, release your hands and feet together. Weight comes into your right foot. Lift up your left foot. Balance out what you did on the right side, bringing your foot to your calf, your inner thigh, grabbing the outside edge, letting that left hip externally rotate, opening up. Squeeze your glutes, press your hips forward. Hands going to be at heart center. Draw your shoulders down away from your ears. Reach your hands up to the sky. Beautiful trees. Breathe here. Find your drishti, your focus. You found toes down on the other side. Make your way there, hinging forward the hips, bending in to that right leg. Maybe finding a point of balance here. Toe stands, feet back in trees. Trees, release your branches and feet together. Inhale, circle swing your arms up overhead. Palms come to touch. Exhale, hands to heart center. One more big inhale. Gather up all the goodness, everything you're grateful for. Exhale, hands to heart center. Take a bow to your standing practice. Meet me in Shavasana. Heads towards the front of your mat, feet towards the back of your mat. We'll be here just for a moment. Settle in. Let your body be heavy. Toes resting out. Knees relaxed. Shoulders away from your ears. Release any tension in that space between your eyes. Relax your jaw. Notice your breath. Palms are up, open to the sky. Bring your feet together, zipper up your legs. For Pandangustasana, draw your right knee in towards your chest. Make a clasp underneath your knee on your shin. Pull that right knee up and out towards your right shoulder. Bring a nice stretch in your glutes and your hips. Compressing your ascending colon, maybe feeling a little pinch. Really squeezing your biceps and your fingers here, relaxing your legs. And release your right foot down. Draw your left knee in, make that same clasp underneath your knee on your shin. Pull your left knee in towards your chest and out towards your left shoulder. Compressing your descending colon. Breathe into the stretch. Feel that pinch maybe in your hip. And release your left leg down. Inhale both legs up. Give yourself a little hug here. Grabbing opposite elbows or wrist. Press your knees into your forearms. Tuck your chin, but keep your neck in contact with the mat in your head. Press your low back down into the mat and your sacrum down, like you're squishing a little grape underneath your sits bones and you're trying to press it down, keeping it from rolling away. Press your knees into your arms. Inhale, squeeze your arms into your knees. Release your feet towards the sky. Flex your feet, hands at your side. Press your low back to mat and lower your legs for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hover your legs, scissor kick for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Strengthening those hip flexors. 2, 1, and release. Feet to the mat. Reach up and over. Nice long body stretch here. Palms open to the sky, cross your thumbs for Bikram sit-up, transitional sit-up. Flex your feet, strong legs. You're going to exhale out your air. On the inhale, you'll sit you up, and the double exhale over your legs. So exhale all your air. Inhale, sits up, double exhale, forward fold over your legs. Nice hamstring stretch here. Stretch out your back. Breathe into it. Meet me on your belly. Hands in push-up position. Zip up your legs. Press your tops of your feet into the mat. Little to no weight in your hands. Chin is on the mat. Inhale, peel your chest up off the mat. Gaze forward. Keep a neutral neck. See if you can lift one more rib up off. Inhale, lifts you up. Exhale, create some space. One more inhale. Strong back. And release. Find a cheek on the mat. Arms at your side. We'll take one more set of Bhujangasana. Cobra. So zip up your legs. Bring your hands to push-up position, maybe a little lower. That's in your practice. Press your feet into the mat. Quads are active, so your kneecaps lift. Exhale out your air, and inhale lifts you up. Open your heart up towards the front of your mat. Gaze forward, squeeze your elbows together. And exhale, release. Find another cheek on the mat. Hands at your side. Take a breath. Bring your chin to your mat. And tuck your hands underneath your body. Palms facing your mat. Maybe bringing your pinkies to touch. Maybe your elbows to touch. For Shalabhasana, locust. Left leg stays relaxed. Inhale, point lock and lift your right leg. Like you're trying to touch a wall behind you, but you can't quite reach it. Chin stays in contact with the mat. Activating your whole right leg. Lift, lift, lift. And release your right leg down. Point lock and lift your left. Right leg stays relaxed. Keep your hip in contact with the mat. Pointing your toes, flexing your entire left leg. Activating your glute. And lift a little bit higher. Exhale, release. Both legs at the same time now. Walk your hands a little bit closer to your knees. Tuck your chin. Maybe kiss the mat. Maybe your nose is touching the mat. The weight will be in your shoulders. Exhale. Inhale. Lift your legs together. Activating your back. Long glutes. Your toes. Lift, lift, lift. And exhale. Slowly release. Release your hands out from underneath you. You shake out your leg and your arms. Bring your arms to a capital T. Chin is on the mat for Purna Shalabhasana. Zip up your legs. Exhale your air and inhale lifts you up. Soft part of your belly is into the mat. Lift your shoulders. Gaze is at the top of your mat. Strong glutes. Up another inch. And breathe. And exhale. Let it go. You can leave your hands in capital T or reach overhead like Superman or Superwoman. Legs together. Point your toes. Inhale. Lifts you up. You're flying over the city. Gaze out in front. Lift up a little bit higher. Strong, active back side of the body. Breathe in through your nose. And exhale. One more. Inhale, lifts you up. And exhale, release. One more. Belly down posture. Bend your knees. Dhanurasana, floor bow. You can do one leg at a time. We'll take 2 sets. Or you can do both legs at the same time. You're taking one leg. Grab onto your right foot. Release your left hand forward and kick. If you're grabbing both legs, kick into your hands. Lift your heart. Kick, point your toes up, draw your knees together. Weights in the soft part of your belly. Lift your heart. And slowly release. Windshield wipe your legs. If you did one side, take your left foot and reach your right hand forward, kicking in to opposite leg, opposite hand, or both legs at the same time for a second set. Point your toes, exhale your air, and lift. Weight comes into that soft part of your belly. Find your edge here. Lift your legs, kick into your hands. Lift your heart. One more lift, and exhale. Release. Option to windshield wipe your legs. Release your lower back. Massaging your quads. Meet me on your knees for Supta Virasana, Hero's Pose. So, I'm going to scoot forward a little bit. You can stay here if this is a good intense stretch on your quads. Or you can separate your heels, sitting your sits bones down between your heels. Heels are right next to your hips. If your sits bones aren't on the mat, stay here. If your sits bones are making contact with the mat, walk your hands back a little bit. Feeling that nice stretch in your quads, the tendons around your knees. You can make your way back a little further onto your elbows. Lifting your heart, squeezing your knees together. Give a nice deep stretch. Or walk it all the way back. You're down on your shoulders. Bring your arms up overhead, clasping opposite hands and elbows. Opening up your heart, squeezing your legs together. Breathe into the stretch. It can be pretty intense, so come back to the breath. Deep inhales, deep exhales. In through your nose, then out through your nose. Slowly rise up out of it, coming back onto your knees for Ardha Karmasana. Half tortoise. Inhale your arms up overhead, palms to touch, thumbs can cross. Squeeze your biceps by your ears. Keep your hips in contact with your heels as much as you can. Engage your core, lengthen up, fold over your thighs. Maybe your forehead will come down to meet the earth before the knife edge of your pinky. Keep your chin away from your chest. Reach your hands forward and press your hips back, reaching in opposite directions, creating some traction in the body. Lengthening the spine, opening the chest. Take a breath. Activate your core and inhale, rising up, releasing your hands to your side. We'll take 2 sets of camel, Ustrasana, on both sides here. Bring your hands to your back pockets. Always option to bring your fist if it's sensitive to your wrist. Squeeze your elbows together. Squeeze your glutes, send your hips forward. Look up, relax your head back. You can stay here, or this option to grab onto your heels. You can always tuck your toes, make it a little bit more accessible. Send your hips forward, making a capital D shape with the body. Little sips of air. Let your head be heavy. Opening up your heart, major heart opener. And slowly support your back. To release, sit back onto your heels. Resetting the spine. Take one more set. Option to take child's pose, or just stay here. Kind of onto your knees. Knees are hip width distance. Find your hands in your back pockets. Thumbs out. Let your head fall back. Squeeze your glutes. Send your hips forward. Find your heels. Little sips of air. Let your head be heavy. Gazing back behind you. Opening up the front side of the body and opening up the heart. And slowly, inhale, sit you up. Exhale, sit you down. Onto your heels. We bent the spine back. We'll take a forward fold, the Sasangasana, rabbit. So forward fold over your thighs, tucking your chin. Grab onto the outside edge of your feet with your thumb, fingers on the inside edge of your heels. Tuck your forehead towards your knees. Keep your chin tucked. Lift your hips like you're going to do a somersault, but you won't because you're hanging on so tight to your heels. Nice stretch in your shoulders, your lower back. Really lift those hips, squeeze your core, and sit your hips back, rolling up one vertebrae at a time. Bring your sits bones down on the mat. We're drawing your Sirsasana, forehead to knee. Bring your left foot into your right thigh. Flex your right foot back. Inhale your arms up overhead. Lengthen up and forward fold over your right leg. Again, we want to make that forehead to knee connection. So if you need to bend your knee, make that connection, bend your knee, and then press your forehead against your knee. Working to stretch out your hamstrings. Lengthen your spine. Creating that calming effect, that forehead to knee connection. Deep inhales, deep exhales to connect you with the pose and enrich the stretch. Inhale, rise up with a flat back. Use your core and switch legs. Bring your right heel into your left thigh. Inhale, lengthens up, and exhale, forward fold over your leg, making that forehead to knee connection. Pressing your forehead against your knee, working to straighten out that left leg. Deep inhales and deep exhales. Flex your foot. Keep your sits bones in contact with the mat. And inhale, rising up. Send both legs out in front of you for Paschimottanasana, westward facing fold. Inhale, reach up, lift your heart. Forward fold with the flat back over your legs. And your peace fingers around your big toes. Lift your heart towards your toes, lengthening the spine. Need a nice hamstring stretch, nice spinal stretch. Use your biceps to pull your chest forward, relax your shoulders down your back. Gaze at your big toes. Breathe here, connecting to your breath. Seeing how it helps ease you into the stretch. Helps you remain present and focused. Inhale, rising up. Release your hands by your side. Right foot crosses over your left leg. You can stay here, or you can tuck your left foot by your left hip. Keep your sits bones on the mat. Inhale your arms up overhead. Bring your right hand down as a kickstand behind you. Little to no weight in your right hand. Reach up, lengthen up with that left hand. Cross it over your right leg. Really press that tricep into your thigh. You can grab onto your knee with that left hand if that's available, and gaze over your right shoulder. Lengthen up. Use your core here. Nice spinal twist to reset the spine. Back to your breath. Relax your shoulders. You can look over your shoulders a little bit more. And inhale, release. Send your right leg out in front of you. Cross your left foot over. Match what you did on the other side. So you stayed here, Stay there. Tuck your right foot by your left hip. Inhale your arms up overhead. Bring your left hand down as you kickstand, little to no weight. Lengthen up through your right arm. Bring your right tricep by your left thigh and press against the left thigh for a spinal twist. Gazing over your left shoulder. Maybe bringing that hand to your knee for a little bit more of a stretch. Pressing your colon. Spinal twists are really good for digestion. Use your core to sit you up. Like you have a string coming out the top of your head. Lengthen up. Inhaling through your nose. Creating space and exhaling, maybe going a little bit deeper. Release the stretch. Find a seated position. Crisscross applesauce, Sukhasana. We're sitting on your knees. Hands long, arms out long in front of you. Hands on your legs, palms down. Roll your shoulders back and down, nice tall spine. Our last asana is Kapalabhati breathing, cooling down the body. You're going to take a deep inhale, snap the air out with a forceful exhale, making a sh sound either through your nose or mouth. Really snapping the belly in, using your core to exhale all your air forcefully and quickly. So take a deep inhale and exhale. Snapping the belly in. 3, 2, 1. Exhale all the air. Inhale. Circle sweep your hands up, palms to touch. Exhale, hands to heart center. One more deep inhale. Circle sweep your hands up, palms come to touch. Exhale, hands to heart center. Take a bow to your practice. Thanks for practicing with me again, online, quarantine edition of the Hatha 26. I hope that your yoga practice keeps continuing in this shelter in place, and that you stay well and be a light in this world. Hope to see you soon.